if you're going to date right away when you've just been through this, if you don't know what you're looking for, you're at risk for going through it again.
I think dating right away is not necessarily a red flag, but it's kind of a recipe for disaster if you're not doing it intentionally.
The science behind the intentional dating thing is like, okay, train your brain to find in reality what you're looking for. Because there's so many distractions. Welcome, everybody. I'm Benny.
I'm Q. And this is Breakup Season.
So this week I was talking to a lot of different people, and people that were wanting to get over their exes, they're now in this world of dating all of a sudden.
Okay. So they're out of their breakup season.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like dating's kind of part of it.
Okay.
And not everybody's ready right away, right? Who knows what's going on in their mind where they're now wanting to do this. But, people want to do it. And the first thing that comes to my head is like, if you're going to date right away when you've just been through this, you're at risk. Like if you don't know what you're looking for, you're at risk for going through it again.
I think dating right away is not necessarily a red flag, but it's kind of a recipe for disaster if you're not doing it intentionally and you don't have like a playbook of what you're looking for and how to go about it the right way. If you're just jumping right back in, it's really dangerous.
Yeah. So I think it's cool, like you and I being coaches and having different types of clients, but having to teach the same thing, at least on this subject, right?
Right. Right.
Okay, so I'm going to share my little favorite piece about this, to me, the reticular activating system in the brain.
Oh, we're getting neurological.
Yeah, we're going nerd. Straight nerd right away.
Okay, we're going neurological.
Yeah,
okay.
Because the same thing that like when you go out and you buy, your Bronco for the first time, now all of a sudden Bronco's a bad idea because that's just a noticeable car. Let's say you go out and you buy your fucking Toyota Tercel.
Okay.
You never notice other Toyota Tercels on the road
until you have one, and then you see it every other car. For sure.
It's relevant to you consciously, right? So you see it in the grocery store parking lot, you see it on the road, and it's so funny that reality is so complex that we need our reticular activating system to filter through reality to show us what's relevant.
For sure.
And it's so cool that you can harness this to date.
On purpose.
Yeah. So that's the kind of cool, like the science behind the intentional dating thing is like, okay, train your brain to find in reality what you're looking for. What you want. Because there's so many distractions. People are sexy, right? People are sexy. Okay. People are fun.
Okay.
People have things that you don't have. So you're like, oh, I like that.
Novelty.
There's so many things, right? Yeah. And if you can get distracted because there's so many amazing people out there.
Is that from personal experience or from your clients or both?
I think it would be both. I think it would be both. Yeah. I've done a lot of intentional dating, but it's definitely true for me too. Because that's what landed me into my relationship. So after I was married for 10 years, had a bunch of kids, got into my first little relationship after that, which was my third date. So that was a mistake right there, right? So anyway, I don't know where I was going with that, but
intentional dating.
Yeah. So you train your mind to filter through reality for what you're looking for.
For sure.
So, obviously you're teaching along the same lines. Like, do you have things that you do with people to get them thinking that way?
For sure. I think it's a good idea. For one, I have my girlies wait. Like, we need a clean slate. I don't need you thinking about your ex. I don't want you to be thinking about your new partner comparatively to your ex. Because that's not looking for what you want. That's just looking for what you don't want.
Yeah.
So when you're looking at it comparatively, it doesn't work. So we need a clean slate. But then I come from it from the perspective of values and morals. Because I think sometimes we as women will say, I want the guy that has the 6-figure job and he needs to be this height. And those are all good things to want. Don't get me wrong.
6 foot, 6 figures.
I mean, I don't see a problem with it. But I think it's easier. For example, like instead of saying I want an attractive man, I would lean more toward I want somebody that values health and fitness, because somebody that values health and fitness is more likely to be attractive. But there are also good morals that go along with that. So instead of saying, I want a man that makes 6 figures, no, I want a man that's internally motivated, that has good work ethic. Thinking about it from a value perspective instead of just a list, like a grocery list of items, puts you in a better headspace.
Well, when you think about values, you're listing those out, right? So it is like a list.
Yeah.
Is it not?
It's still a list. I think it's a more intentional list.
Right. Yeah. I agree with that. The thing about the net, you know how you said like, don't think about the exes and stuff or what you don't want, right? Because then you're just going to find that. Like they tell you when you do your affirmations in your sleep, you got to phrase things a certain way,
for
right?
Sure, for sure.
So I'm totally on board with that. What I would tell people is like, okay, whatever you know you don't want, the lessons you got for the ex, flip it, phrase it into a positive statement, right?
Sure.
So if I don't like messy women or something, okay, cool. Then you say that you want somebody that's organized or something.
Right.
Like
somebody that
right?
values organization.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's a value statement.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's funny though, because, when you think about what you're looking for, I tell people to be shallow too. You should be deep, but you should also be shallow. I'll tell you why. Because as a man, and maybe this is just me being shallow. Okay. But as a man, like you want to be drawn to your woman. Like if you're watching the football game, right? And your girl comes home from the salon and you see her as like a 6 out of 10 or whatever. She's like, hey, I got my nails done. I got my hair done. That's the guy that he's like, oh, that's nice, honey. And like keeps watching the game. But
I would hate that.
If you look at your woman, like she's like the
baddest,
most beautiful woman in the world, which to me, she deserves, like, if you're going to choose her, she deserves that kind of attention.
For sure.
So you're doing her a favor by not selling for a woman that you don't see that way.
For sure.
So it's like, if you can be shallow in the sense that you're getting what you want, you shouldn't necessarily prioritize that over the shared values thing. But to me, that list, it's got to have some like looks oriented stuff on it too, because that's what's going to be, gets you the passion and like the energy into it, like I go over the top. So my last relationship, that she was like my cup of tea. And that was the first time where I went straight
like
after my cup
girl.
of tea. Yeah. And the way I treated her was so much better than any relationship I'd been in.
And see, from my perspective, I do agree that as a woman, I want to be attracted to my partner. Because statistically, like in terms of getting cheated on and all that, it's the same statistical likelihood in a marriage, or how do I want to phrase it? I read a study that said you run the same statistical likelihood as catching an STD from your partner if you are in a partnered, like committed relationship versus not. AKA the likelihood that the man is going to cheat is still high. So if I get cheated on by an ugly man, you're
like, if this is going to happen,
I don't want to get cheated on at all.
You're like, bro, you don't even deserve to be here, let alone cheat on me.
Exactly. Not that I want it to happen at all, but like, if that's a factor too, it's like, I got cheated on by a man that I didn't even want. Like, now I'm mad at myself. So I do agree, like, that is an important factor for sure.
Yeah.
I just don't want the girls to get hung up on just a laundry list of looks. Because there's a whole like provider mindset, somebody that's motivated on their own and not just because of you, somebody that has hobbies and goals outside of you. Things like that are important too, but I won't knock looks off the list for sure.
When I think about the equivalent of that kind of stuff for men, the nurturing aspect is huge. One of my favorite things to look for in women is how do they treat their kids, like that. Okay. Like, so when I met my ex, she sang to her kid at night. And I, on an early date, or whenever the first time was that I could be around the kids, I noticed that. I was like, oh, I fucking like this.
Yeah.
I like the way, and you know what? That came out in the relationship too. She would make me coffee and not because, like I'm the tough man that needs the support. No, she just did it out of the goodness of her heart.
Yeah.
I love that, So the nurturing thing was like a good value for me to look for. But I was looking for in terms of like kids, because I was thinking like stepmom-ish, But it played in my favor. Yeah, it played in my favor. Sure. And she supported my mission. She was doing retreats with me and all these things. So I think that's a big thing. And the other thing is this is the thing that I love. I love, just like as women, you love masculine behavior, like we love feminine behavior. Yeah. Because as a dude, you don't take joy in the small things, right? Like I'm not going to go outside and like look at a flower and be like, oh my God, it's a flower. You know what I mean? Like if I'm on a date with a girl, she's gonna like see something.
She's gonna romanticize the world around you.
Yeah. We're gonna walk past a shop. She's gonna see a dress and be like, "Oh my God, I love this! Look at this and look at that."
So I have a question.
Yeah.
So what do you think your role is in maintaining an environment that allows her to be like that?
Yeah. Plan the dates.
Okay.
Make as many decisions as I can. If she asks me for an opinion on what dress is better for the night, even if I don't think it matters, pick one and say why, right? So be decisive, plan dates, in communication, listen, right? So when there's conflict, it's like, okay, what's bothering you? Oh, this is what it is? Okay, it sounds like you feel this way. What else are you feeling?
So
What
providing
else?
a
What
safe
else?
space
What
for that
else?
conversation and actually participating in it.
Showing up in conflict, yeah,
Okay.
and making them feel listened to. It's hard, especially if you have a not good enough wound, because the other person's criticisms trigger you, and like the whole time you're listening to them, you're like, I want to get the fuck out of here, you know. And I have such a hard time with that, but it's got to be done. So that date planning and then having fun, like if the girl can show up, look hot, not have to make decisions, and you can make her have fun, you can turn your date into a playground, right? So if we're I don't know, if we're at a restaurant, just talking shit to the waiter or something, now it's an adventure, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe we people watch and we're making up fake stories about the couple next to us, right? That lets a girl relax into her feminine, and then you get to experience that, you know?
Okay, because that's what, like, I hear a lot of guys say, oh, I want a feminine woman, I want this. And I'm always like, okay, what are you doing to provide the environment to allow her to relax into that? Because I think we all have the capacity for masculinity and femininity, like both sexes, everyone. Like we both have the capacity, because we need it to come out in different parts of our lives. I don't believe anyone's strictly masculine or strictly feminine. You know, we need different parts for different parts of our life.
Mm-hmm.
And in relationship, I need to feel that safe space to be that, because if I don't feel safe, then I'm in protection mode, which is my masculine energy. Yeah. Which is fine too, but I just know that you're not the one for me in that environment.
That's right. Yeah.
You know, so
yeah, because then you're having to, you know, if you're having to make the decisions, or if you're having to be the logical one or the smart one, or the one that's not careless with the money, or like if you're having to hold shit down, who's right? Like, you're not going to be like, you can't do that and be fun and free at the same time. Sure. Doesn't make any sense, you know? Yeah,
the first person I dated outside of my healing journey, that's what it was like. And it completely like blew my mind, like car service, like hotel reservations, flight, restaurant reservations, everything's just planned out. All I have to do is be there and be pretty. I was like, I mean, if he hadn't ended up turning into an asshole, this would be a completely different situation. It went left for a different reason. But those first few months of experiencing that, it was like, it almost like healed my brain. It was just like a new experience, and it set my expectations a lot higher for what I can expect out of a partner.
Totally, yeah. So before I got into getting your ex-back stuff, I was a men's dating coach, and one of the books that I kind of push on everybody is called "How to Be a 3% Man" by Corey Wade. The premise.
You keep talking about that book. I'm going to read it.
You should. It's great. Yeah. You may not like it, but it's good for.
I may not like it. Okay. Why?
Because you're an advocate for women.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's like it's a men's book, right? Okay. So to me, I'm like, bring the genders together. I'm not on anybody's side. I'm on women's side, the same as I am men's and everything. Sure. But like, it's a men's book, and it's aimed at getting guys, girls, but it's also relationship oriented too. So it's one of those things that you might have to I want to hear what you think when you read it.
I'll read it.
Because it's a tasteful book. It's not like a chip on your shoulders, red pill book or whatever. But anyway, and the premise of the book is only 3% of men understand women to the point where they can be effective and like kind of show up in the way that women want.
Wait, so only 3% of men are like valid for dating?
Figured out in terms of like how to a lot of guys figure it out, right? Otherwise nobody's getting in relationships. The body's producing serotonin, dopamine, people come together all the time. But then what happened? Because this was the other point I was going to make, which is that what your guy provided you, and maybe he would have kept it up, but the question is, do they keep it up after the honeymoon phase? Because that's why I was referencing this book. It says, hey, if you don't date your girl, some other guy will. So your job as a man is every single week, and to me, I kind of let it slide to like every other week, having kids and stuff. But on a regular basis, you are making dinner reservations, planning a fun date, and that is your job as the man. Even locking down the babysitter from the rest of the relationship, it never stops.
Yeah, you know? Like do what you started with the entire time, for sure. This is before I knew what love bombing was. This was years ago. I was probably 25, 26. He did all those things at the very beginning. Everything was amazing. And as soon as we locked it down and made it official, everything fell off. And I asked him, and he said to my face, I already have you. I don't have to keep doing that.
You'd be like, you ain't got me no more.
I mean, well, he's in prison now, but that's a whole other conversation.
I wonder who he has now.
But he said, I don't have to do any of that anymore. And I I didn't know how to advocate for myself at the time. So I didn't know how to, I left, obviously, but I didn't know how to process that in the moment. And I was like, man, am I asking for too much? Like, is he correct? And I didn't know how to fully process that and step away. But it was like, what? I don't have to do this anymore. I have you. Like, I don't know. That blew my mind. But going back to what you said, maybe it was intentional. And he did all that on the front end for the honeymoon phase.
Yeah. I think with narcissists, it's more intentional. It's a buttering you up, right?
Yeah.
With dismissive avoidance, they actually connect and they're actually super into it. But then when the body chemistry changes after about 6 months or so, all their fears about relationships come into play. And then that good behavior drops off because they're scared. So it's not a malicious thing in the beginning. It's more like this almost like naivete where they want you to meet the parents right away and they go 0 to 100. And then after 6 months, it's like a total flip. And a lot of my clients are going through that. So it's like you have the malicious love bombing and then you have what feels like love bombing and it kind of is, but it's more out of naivete than it is maliciousness or whatever too. Yeah.
And intent is a huge part of it. If they're not intentionally doing it, I don't think it's love bombing because love bombing is a form of manipulation.
Right.
And manipulation requires intent. So
if
it's not intentional, it would be like love bombing-esque, but it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like, how do we on the other end, find the difference? We call Benny.
You don't.
We call Benny.
Yeah. I've been able to kind of screen for, now I'm not a clinician, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not an expert in any of the personality disorders whatsoever. I don't claim to be. But I have been able to pick out attachment styles, like being single over the last year and a half almost now. Like in the girls that I've talked to, I've been quick to like weed out certain like insecurities and stuff because it's one thing to just be more secure yourself and kind of know what you vibe with and whatnot. But being like a professional where you have to put people in boxes, right? I'm like, oh fuck, not this box, no.
So your professional brain is going while you're on that date.
Yeah.
It's hard to turn it off.
And I probably don't give people enough credit for that reason too, but that's part of intentional dating. You got to decide because if you're going to lock, especially for you, right? You're like, you've been in a big stretch of being single and like you said, like you don't know if you'll get married or not, right?
No. So, I said I don't know if I'll have kids or not.
Oh, okay. My bad. So
I'm open to marriage.
Okay.
Yeah. What were you gonna say though?
Well, I was gonna say, especially for you, like it being in this mindset now, like whoever you lock down with is going to be a huge decision, right? So it's so selective
for sure.
And I'm feeling the same way,
Well, I decided I'm going to start dating again the way I teach my clients to date. It's that thing, those who can't do teach.
Yeah.
I'm great with helping others.
Yeah.
So I told myself I'm going to mentally take myself back 10 years. I'm going back to a clean slate of 25.
Okay.
Before a lot of the trauma.
So you go out clubbing now?
Yeah. Well, people keep thinking I'm 25. So I was like, I'm just going to go for it. 25 is when you hit brain development and you start making better choices.
True that.
I was doing a lot of things to hinder those good choices. So I was like, I'm going to go back now that I'm not doing those hindering behaviors. And I'm going to date the way I teach my clients to date. And I have a whole workbook where I write out all myself, my qualities, everything about me. I brag about myself a little bit to remind myself who I am because the next page is asked about the values and qualities you want to have in a partner. And I think a lot of women, myself included, we want to be humble and not ask for too much. And that's the best way to get not that much in your partner.
Yeah. Right? Yeah.
So we hype ourselves up so that on the next page I can say, now that I know I'm that girl and I remember I'm that girl, this is what that girl requires in a partner. Like this is my equally yoked, my match. This is what I need in a partner. And I write out the qualities and what their marriage goals are, if they want kids. Like, and this is hypothetical.
So you drill it down even beyond.
Well, just hypothetical. I have it. It's sports coded, and so it's like a player card. I'll show it to you.
Okay.
So it's like
you showed me your workbook before.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. So I make my own player card of myself. Then I make a hypothetical player card of my hypothetical good partner. And then there's a sports bracket next. and it's for dating multiple people so I can get multiple different perspectives. For this stage, I emphasize probably not sleeping with all of them because it's not at that stage.
I was just thinking a body count is like a stat on the back of the card.
No. But just so you can get like multiple personalities and you can see like what you want, what you do want. Because maybe some of those qualities you wrote out aren't actually things you want. And you'll find somebody that has that quality and you're like, actually, this doesn't mesh well with me. So it's like a bracket. And as you
shift it.
Yeah, and then there's date diary pages where you write out, okay, this is how the date went. This was the energy. This is what I got from them. So you can also have a space to check for consistency because sometimes we have our rose-colored glasses on and they'll do one. Like, remember that Reese Atisa girl?
Yes.
Did you ever see that?
Yes, yeah.
The thing that stood out to me was he did one really good thing for her at the very beginning and she held on to that.
Yeah.
And it was like this big grand gesture.
I didn't get to watch the whole series, but I know exactly what it is.
You know, okay. Yeah. He did that grand gesture at the beginning. He came and got her tire fixed and he paid for it.
So she's just ignoring red flags the rest of the
Right. So the date diary is so you can write out, you know, how the date went, what his behaviors were. So you can say, wait, hold on. He's been doing this consistently, or he did this once and never did it again, or he's been consistently doing this back to back to back, and then you can knock people off your bracket until you narrow it down. Okay. And maybe you might not narrow it down to one. Maybe you start over again, but it gets you in the habit of like paying attention to behaviors from an objective standpoint instead of being like,
just so like it. Yeah.
So I'm going to start dating that way myself.
I love it. Yeah, I love it. I've been a little bit lazy on the dating front. Yeah.
So when you go back in, though, I know we're talking about intentional dating. How are you going to go back in intentionally? Like, what's your
I have
game
my
plan?
List already, right?
Okay. So what's on your list?
So what I do? Oh God.
What's on your list?
Yeah. So,
ladies, we're going into Benny's list.
This is part of the laziness coming out here. So for me, it's big. I like petite, like athletic women. So I know that's the first thing I'm mentioning, but it matters to me.
He's not talking about me.
I mean, you fit the archetype pretty good. I mean, but it's like I like a certain thing, and it's like for me to really get into it and want to connect with you all the way and pull out all the stuff. That's got to be there.
Okay,
so that's a piece of this.
Well, that's what's stopping your eye. That's what's your initial.
Yeah, right. It's the thing that stops the scroll, right? And everything else starts from there. So they got to be intelligent because I like to talk deeply, and if somebody wants to stay surface level, I can't do it. My attachment style is like, to whatever degree I'm insecure, it's fearful avoidance. So in order to feel safe from a trust perspective, I got to feel like I know you fucking inside and out. I need to know your mother's social security number. No, but I want to know your soul. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I need somebody that can
you know why that would scare me on my end? Because sometimes people will learn that so they can use it against you.
Totally get it.
And so on like from a woman's perspective, not necessarily hold back, but hold back maybe some trauma.
Yeah.
And don't tell them all those things because I've had that flipped in my face.
I see.
Maliciously. But okay, keep going. So you want body type, you want intelligence.
Yeah.
You want a deep.
I want somebody that's a nurturer because I have kids and I prefer to date single mothers typically because they have that down already, but it's not a deal breaker, but that's one of those things. I need somebody that's open-minded and non-judgmental because I don't live my life in a rigid way. It's very loose. I like people that say yes to things like, hey, you want to go on an adventure today? I'm going to say yes to you. If you ask me to do something, it's always yes.
Okay.
So I want somebody that says yes to me. It's like, hey, you want to go kayaking today? Cool, let's go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So you need them to trust you enough to give you the yes.
Yeah. Okay. I want somebody that is open-minded, that wants to have fun, that doesn't want to, you can't tell that dirty joke, or you can't listen to Kevin Gates in front of the kids.
Wait, no, you shouldn't listen to Kevin Gates in front of the kids, though.
I do. Wait, no, I don't.
Not the 4-year-old.
I do. Okay.
No.
But that kind of stuff. So they got to be loose and fun.
Yeah.
And I just want somebody to explore the world with,
Okay.
Yeah. So I have a whole list of 20 qualities, right? And they're ranked in order, but I haven't looked at it in a minute. So we're not doing an episode on intentional dating. What are we talking about? but if I was on the hunt right now, I would be adjusting it and I would be readjusting it every time I go on a date.
Okay.
you know? So
okay, so similar to how I have on my like ideal player card, maybe some of the qualities aren't what you actually want, so you readjust it as you go on. Okay.
Because you prioritize it, right? So you brain, or the way that I do it is like you brain dump like at least 20 qualities, and then you rank them in order, and the top 5 become non-negotiable. So whoever you settle down with, they have to have the top 5.
Okay.
But you might learn that maybe you thought something was more important than what it really was by the time you went out with the person that had the thing or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, so I think as you date, you kind of figure things out and you reprioritize and stuff.
Okay. We're going to discuss this as you go on dates, as we continue the podcast.
Okay. Yeah.
And I will tell you about mine if and when I start. Well, no. I told myself this is the year I'm going to start dating again. So, but you'll have to be prepared. For some reason, I always attract chaotic stories of some point. So you have to be ready for my chaotic stories.
I am. We're ready.
My group chat, shout out to my group chat. They're always laughing because I always have the most chaotic stories.
We get a screen up here with your group chat in it.
No, maybe we'll bring them in for an episode one day.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're always joking about
these are big chairs. You can get a couple of your friends in there.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll lap up.
Yeah.
I'll bring the girls. You would love them.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything else on that? Because I wanted to ask you about this season of Love is Blind. You know I'm going to make you watch it with me.
Yeah, I'm excited. So what's going on with the show?
Benny has never watched Love is Blind, you guys.
That's not true. I've watched the first season with my ex, but I haven't.
Benny has watched only one season of Love is Blind, you guys. So, but you know the premise.
Yeah.
They have to talk through the wall. Let me find this season because they just released the cast. It starts on October 1st. And whenever they release the cast, they have like this meet the singles, and they all have a tagline. I'm not going to show them to you because we're going to keep it blind, like Love is Blind.
Okay.
But I'm going to read you some taglines. And from what you hear in the tagline, I want you to tell me if you think this person is on there to be an intentional dater.
Are you going to tell me their gender or not?
I'm going to tell you their name, gender, age.
Okay.
And their tagline.
Okay, and then I tell you if I think they're intentionally dating,
if they're going to be
just a fucktard.
Yeah, well, because there's a lot of speculation from the last few seasons that some people are going on there just for the fame.
Okay.
Or just for the fame.
Gotcha.
I'll say it like that.
Okay.
And you can kind of tell the way people are dating, the way they're interacting, that some people aren't intentional and some people are, and we get some really beautiful love stories out of it.
Yeah.
And I do swoon every season over one or two couples. But there's some people in the last few seasons, it's like, you want to be an influencer.
Got it. Okay.
Or maybe, or some people that just have no business dating. Like you need to
go to therapy, come back for next season. 2 seasons from now.
Okay. So I don't know how to pronounce this name. I hope I'm not saying it wrong. Calibria. She's 29 and she's a social worker. And her tagline is, "My worst habit is falling in love with potential."
Intentional.
Okay, what tells you that?
It's her worst habit. Even though it's a habit, she identifies it as something that's a problem. So hopefully she's not wanting to do that anymore. Unless she's embracing it by just saying it and just like accepting it. But I can't tell. Okay.
Annie, 31, hair salon owner. "I don't put up with a lot of issues." That's her tagline.
Fucktard.
Why?
Because she's focusing on what she doesn't want.
Okay.
Right? So it sounds like she has principles, but it's a negative attitude.
Okay. Next one. Kate, 32, registered dietitian. "I'm not looking for a boyfriend. I'm looking for a husband."
Yeah, I would say that's intentional.
Okay. That one kind of threw me off because it's like, don't you have to get through the boyfriend stage?
Yeah, I agree. It sounds iffy, but I'm going to trust that she's doing the right thing here.
Where is it at? There was one guy that was... Okay, Nick, 28, luxury watch dealer. Cool job.
Fucktard.
"I move fast and I hope you can keep up with me."
Fucktard.
And what gives you that? Was it? I mean, you said it before.
You said 28 in a guy, so past that, we didn't need to know anything else. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, Yeah, luxury watch dealer at 28, talking about how he moves fast. He's egotistical, probably, and then, hope you can keep up. Why not say something more substantial?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Fucked hard.
Megan W., 35, entrepreneur. The key to my heart is anything that sparkles.
I want to be like cool with that, but
Yeah.
like anything that sparkles. And then are you talking about money? Because like, what are we talking about? Like if she wants to be iced up or whatever, I don't know. So because like when I first heard that, I heard that like in a fairy context or whatever. Like she's just like lighthearted and stuff, but that sounds like fucked hard.
Okay.
You sound materialistic.
Edmund, 29, realtor. My favorite thing in the world is rollerblading.
Wait, is it a guy or a girl?
Edmund, a guy.
Edmund?
Yeah.
My favorite thing in the world is rollerblading. Okay, so I want to be on this guy's side because he's saying like he said the most genuine shit out of everybody so far.
Okay.
It sounds like
it does actually sound pretty genuine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what you're gonna say. I don't know. I'm gonna say intentional.
Okay.
I'm not gonna be negative on that one.
He has like a really warm smile too.
Okay.
He seems like a kind-hearted.
Wait, have
soul.
we met these people in the show yet or
No,
not?
the show hasn't started yet.
We're gonna see how this plays out. Huh?
Yes.
Okay.
These are just they drop their headshots and a tagline and their name.
Okay. I'm gonna go on that guy's side.
Okay, this is one of the last one. Well, I'm not gonna say all of them, but this is one of the last ones I'm gonna say. Ashley, 35, director of compliance. We talked about this earlier, so I just want to see your opinion on this. Her tagline is, "I'm alpha, but I'm willing to follow if you have direction."
I've met a lot of these women,
Okay.
and I like that personality,
Okay.
but I'm gonna say she sounds intentional.
Okay.
Because she's open. She's open to a man being the leader, but she's saying like, hey, this ain't gonna be easy, bro. Like,
Yeah.
you better be the real thing. So
Which-
I'm gonna say she's intentional.
When you said that, it reminds me of like stress hormones and how that's how men bond, and that's the best way to get a man to bond with you in a relationship is to produce some vasopressin in his system. Have you ever heard that?
No, what is
No?
this?
So kind of off track of this, but women bond primarily through oxytocin. That's
Yeah.
like the cuddle hormone. Like you want to feel close to them.
Yeah.
Men bond more when they're producing vasopressin. So that's a stress hormone. And so when they're in situations where they are under a bit of stress, not necessarily bad stress, but like maybe helping you put something together that's difficult, or going to an escape room together, or
Man,
playing a sport. Like
You better count me as a chick because I love cuddling and I fucking hate escape rooms and I suck at them.
or like playing a round of tennis maybe as tennis doubles or something like that.
Yeah. Like they say, like working out together.
Yeah.
You see the pheromones and all that.
Light vasopressin is
Okay.
released in a healthy way.
Okay.
And so she's kind of giving me that like, hey, you're gonna have to work a little bit and prove it to me. Like she sounds kind of like she'll produce a little vasopressin and maybe get a good match.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna see how these predictions play out.
We're gonna see how they play out for sure.
When does the show start?
I believe October 1st. I will make sure that you know.
Okay.
I will not let you forget. I am the kind of person, as soon as the episodes drop, I'm watching them like first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
My friends hate it because I always have all the tea first. And I'm like, are y'all ready to talk? And they're like, give us a few days. But so I will make sure you know when they drop. The first drop will probably be way more episodes, and you might be a little irritated with me because it'll probably be like 6 episodes. But after that, it's less. It's like less and less as it
You're gonna
comes to
binge watch it.
for sure.
Yeah.
Before we get off Love is Blind, could you ever date that way?
Like on the Love is Blind show?
Yeah.
Never.
Why not?
Because love ain't blind. My fucking love is owl eyes. I'm soaring above with like fucking 120 vision.
There have been some really, the first season was here, and there were some beautiful marriages that came out of it. All of them are still married.
I'm sure there were, but for however many of those, there's that one couple that got so awkward and barely even hugged or kissed each other in the hallway when they met.
Yeah.
And I saw that. I'm like, That's why we don't do this shit.
I mean, like a couple hundred years ago when marriages were arranged, that's kind of, now whether or not they were happy is another question.
Yeah.
But that's kind of,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I have a lot of Middle Eastern clients, that still do that, and I don't know how it works. But I think shit. I don't know. I mean, they don't have to stick to it though either these days, right? They can go against what their parents say. I mean, I guess it depends on your financial independence, but
well, and I guess thinking about it, if you would come from a culture where that's the norm, you're probably more mentally ready for that. If that's the norm in your culture and that's what you know what I'm saying?
I would be like, Mom, Dad, you better
well, I don't come from that from a culture where that's the norm.
Yeah.
But I think maybe if I did and that was the norm growing up, I'd probably be more open to it.
Yeah.
Now I couldn't imagine myself. I dated one person that wasn't my type, and remember way back when I said if somebody wasn't my type cheated on me, I'd be upset. It's because I know from personal experience.
Yeah.
So
okay.
After that experience, I was like, I'm not discounting that ever again. I'm not making any no. That was the first and last time that I will ever do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm in the same boat. I don't know if I could do that only because I wouldn't say it was a blind experience, but it was I let looks go, and
the
worst man of all time.
You can't do that.
No.
Yeah. Well, I think since we plugged the show, we ought to plug our own Instagram channel. So if you guys want to see clips for Breakup Season Podcast, you should follow at Breakup Season Pod on Instagram and on TikTok. And every time we do an episode, you'll get clips there. So as you guys are scrolling, they'll pop up in your feed. So make sure you follow those accounts.
And then also, if you can find me on TikTok, Instagram, and I think I have a YouTube channel too, at Qolett the Coach, Qolett the Coach. I'm sure we'll have it on screen.
Yeah.
Right there.
And at Benny Lichtenwalner. Good luck spelling my name. So you got to go on a goose hunt.
We both have pretty sticky names. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.
All right.